morning, ladies and gentlemen, and I am, first of all, welcome here, and I am very pleased to open the 32nd Congress of this very special organization, the International Society for Limnology. And I'm first of all going to ask Professor Peter Biro, who has been chairman of the organizing committee and is a member of the Hungarian Academy of Sciences, to address you. Thank you.
Mr. Peter Kovács, Deputy Secretary of State on Rural Development, Professor Brian Moss, President of SIL, ladies and gentlemen. It is the second case that the SIL Congress is convened in Hungary. The first, that was the fifth SIL Congress, took place in Budapest and Debrecen during 1930. 6 years ago, when we first invited the Congress in Montreal and repeated our invitation in Cape Town 3 years ago, we hoped a much better situation and much more participants. At present, the total number of registered participants are around 500. They came from 47 countries and 5 continents. During this week, we shall have 7 plenary lectures, 287 oral lectures, and 117 poster presentations, together with some of ad hoc sessions. SIL members, including highly esteemed scientists, many having made fundamental and pioneer contributions to our knowledge on freshwater sciences. The forthcoming Congress will be devoted to the theme of diverse waters, rich life, and will cover nearly all aspects of freshwaters. The ancient Greek philosophers already believed that water was one of the vital elements and currently is one of the most significant issues throughout the world. Not only is water central to conflict and peace, but simply because where is water, there is life. Indeed, the Congress fees are a bit high. We all agree with this. However, only if we meet the minimum desired 800 participants would the corresponding fee allow the Congress organizers to break even. Let us further emphasize one detail. Despite our multiple requests and applications, the Congress did not receive any financial support from external sources, from sources of governments or professional or academic. Moreover, the operational activity of the organizing committee is relying on the research funds and budgets of the members of the organizing committee themselves. Thus, the majority of the organizing committee members not only paid their registration fee, but were sacrificing their own research funds. Let us stress again that there is no profit whatsoever arising from the Congress, so a substantial decrease of the fees was not presently possible, or at least not possible without interfering with the functionality and consequently with the purpose of the Congress. In Cape Town, as I said, please remember that the participation fee in Budapest will be the function of the number of participants and the financial support obtained from external sources. We understand that our fundraising campaign has largely failed, and we only hope that this is not because of our incompetence, but rather because of the present critical economic and financial situation all over the world. A cheaper place might be convenient, however, a shift to venue for another one was not possible during the last year because of undersigned contracts, and we still hope the financial support, which were 2 very serious promises. Later on, they were cancelled too. Nevertheless, we wish you more success, nice presentations, good feeling, and memorable stay in Hungary. As a chairman of the organizing committee, I would like to express my sincere thanks to the members of the organizing committee, and I'm especially thankful to Dr. Viktor Tóth, secretary of the board, and to Attila Varga, Robert Hochol, Zsuzsa Heisler, Ildikó Kruppe from Diamond Congress Organizing Limited for their efforts lost in careful organization of this event. Thank you very much for your attention and wishing you a very nice day in Hungary.
Thank you, Professor Biro. Now I'd like to introduce Mr. Peter Kovács, who is Deputy State Secretary for Water in the Ministry of Rural Development, to address the meeting on behalf of the Hungarian Water Establishment. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, Mr. President, on behalf of the Minister of Rural Development of Hungary, Mr. Sándor Fazekas, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the organizers for their invitation and for the organization of this important event. It is my great pleasure to open and address today to the 32nd Congress of the International Society of Limnology. It is very well known that the aim of the International Society is to study all aspects of limnology, to understand inland aquatic ecosystems, and to elaborate their sustainable development. This scientific activity is becoming more and more important to successfully manage the effect of the climate change and to provide essential knowledge for the other fields of science areas. It should be utilized in the development of the management and in the maintenance of economy-based natural inland waters. From the plenary sessions and workshops to the very specific technical issues, there will be several topics with the opportunity to discuss any major questions, for example, on wetlands, on fisheries, on aquaculture, on saline lakes, or on the river-based environmental management of eutrophic waters. The SIL Congress, the conference that is the most important global event for the limnologists, is held for the first time in Hungary. The scientific activities of the SIL are based on the knowledge and the works of limnologists around the world, and this activity is particularly important for a landlocked country such as Hungary. Internationally well known, the results published by the Hungarian limnologists on the surface waters of the Carpathian Basin, so I think it is not a question that freshwater research is a priority for us. The 32nd Congress, which focuses on the biodiversity and the diversity of our waters, is just 2 months before the Budapest Water Summit, so these important events should jointly represent the great importance of water as a vital natural resource. The Hungarian Ministry of Rural Development is linked in many ways to the protection of the water bodies, the preservation of a good water quality and ecological status, and to the sustainable use of the natural waters as a responsible ministry. We greatly benefit from the international and Hungarian research results. Accordingly, at a governmental level, we are also interested that the Congress dealing with the science of limnology should be as successful as possible. I wish every participant a successful and experience-rich conference and fruitful discussions. Thank you for your kind attention.